I think we got a problem, got a problem.
Let's go. Get up. It's that club, baby. You hear that? You can't sit down to that. Okay.
Yo, what up, y'all? It's your boy, Sheik Luch, LOXD Block, Silverback. Hey, yo, right now I need to shout out the ISUPK classes.
I want to give a huge, big, humongous shout out to all the UPK schools.
Shout out to Black Watch, hosted by General Johanna. Word, I need y'all to check out Cross the Line Radio as well, man. They've been open all week from 7 to 9. They ain't shut down because of the corona, the COVID and all that. They rockin' strong, you know what I mean?
Think we got a problem, but really it ain't though. It's one of me and these bitches, I count about 3, 4. Think we got a problem, but homie just all talk. He ain't gon' pop a balloon with a pitchfork. Think we got a problem in the club with this dog. Rude boys, dogs, ladies, everybody.
Hey, I'm just following orders. Let me get one of those slow motion pictures, bro. One of the slow motion pictures.
You gotta shoot at 60 frames per second.
Come on, that.
They say they wanna hit that raw shit. These niggas claiming that they bullshit. These niggas better move it coast shit. Cause if they make the wrong move it coast shit. You see me, they like, ooh, keep on stopping. I'm on my way up and they ain't gon' stop it. They say they wanna hit that raw shit. Coming up, I'm about to bullshit. They see me, they like, ooh, keep on stopping. I'm on my body, real niggas right beside me. Damn right, I brought my army, going up like a rocket, and can't nobody stop me. These niggas garbage, so watch your mouth, boy. Coming all black, slithering house, call me mouth, boy. I'm off the hip like a cowboy. I'm a king, you should bow, boy. Shorty like that, man, you cut up. Nothing I can handle. 144 in the booth, going Rambo. Niggas do you dirty like a stick in a bando. That's why I play the corner like a bum with a banjo. I'ma lead by example. Ooh, keep on stopping, got this bitch off the hand. Got the juice, got the drip, about to hit the bitch with the salt. It ain't rap, it's assault. Can't taste a bitch unless you with the coke. They say they wanna hit that raw shit. These niggas claiming that they bullshit. These niggas better move it coast shit. Cause if they make the wrong move it coast shit. Hey, one way, one way, one way, one way, one way. Coming up on my I do it how a veteran be. You better than me. I'm Reggie at the edge of the key. It's all money, no honey. Think you settle and see. You locked up, fucked up, and it's back to the streets. It's One West. You can check the residency. I reside with soldiers died on the soles of their feet. Cause there's death before designer. Ain't no coward in me. Cause I'm cold as a bitch's shoulder. You ain't calling a week. Get the cooking on this beat. Hope you like it well done. Got them killers rolling with me and they all red rum, red rum, red rum. Got you fucking scared some. Get the banging on this beat till my fucking head numb. Black Glock, red drum, black and yellow air ones. Homie, you ain't got a vest. I suggest you wear one.
Told these niggas we was going up. They was doing a lot of talking. Now these niggas ain't saying shit.
Feeling like a legend in this shit. Lil nigga, I'm past veteran. Never feeling third. Lil nigga, I'm past second. Guns, I gotta have them all like Ash Ketchum. Shotty break a nigga ribs up like his wife left him. We all stepping. Kill you with kindness cause I'm dead nice. That 5'7" put you 6 feet, not talking height. That judge giving out 5 but you doing life. These hands are rude GPS. A mean right. That's mean right. We build different, you know the vibes. And we stamped it authentic, we notarized. I keep a 140
bold because I know a God. Noah's Ark, you know I'm with animals when we flowing by. We back again, no cap, when I'm with Cap again. Yeah, they said they want smoking, so we matching them. Everything righteous, so you know when we get back at them, you get hit up with a K, but no acronym.
They say they wanna hit that raw shit. These niggas claiming that they boss shit. These niggas better move and coach shit. Cause if they make the wrong move and coach shit. See me, they like, ooh, keep on stopping. I'm on my way up and they ain't gon' stop it. They say they wanna hit that raw shit. Coming up, I'm about to boss shit.
Yeah. You know what it is. Shalom.
Yeah.
ISUPK. We're the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge out of Harlem, New York, since 1969, under Commanding General Yohana. And we are under Commanding General Yohana by Yahweh Shah Mashiach, which is known to the world as Jesus the Christ, that we are to go out and gather our people together, which is the 12 tribes of Israel, so-called Black, so-called Hispanic, and so-called Native American people. We are and is the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. We are the lost sheep of the house of Israel. I'm Officer Tasha Young.
Sorry, Officer Isaiah War.
Tonight is a very interesting class tonight, because once again, things that Christians say, and this is a big thing that Christians say, and I can't understand why they can't see what the scriptures is saying about Jacob and Esau. But what we're going to do is we're going to explore Jacob and Esau. We're going to look at the birth of Jacob and Esau. Then we're going to actually look at what unfold during the events of their life. You got something you want to add up?
No, kind of just one thing that Christians always say is that of course Jacob, as you look at the title, Jacob stole his birthright. You know what I mean? Jacob is a wicked thing. You know what I mean? They make it seem like he deceived his brother and all that, and we definitely going to get into it, the actual story, to find out what actually happened. Right. You see what I'm saying? And we're going to find out who the true deceiver is, because that's what devil means. You know what I'm saying? Devil means deceiver. So we're going to find out for sure who that is.
And you know what's heavy about this too? What's heavy about this topic? Just like you said, for some reason, Christians will argue you down that Jacob stole Esau's birthright and his name means deceiver. All of these things, all right? Without actually really exploring and looking at the scriptures little by little, line up on line, here a little, there a little, precept up on precept. They don't do none of that.
Right.
They don't do none of that. And like I said, this is a very interesting topic, because when you talk about Esau, of course, everyone knows our position when it comes to Esau. We believe that Esau, according to the Bible, is the so-called white man. Now, I want you guys to keep in mind, when we say the so-called white man, we're saying so-called because he's not really white. All right.
Right.
This paper would be white.
Right.
Right. This is white. He's not really white. And I never really looked at it. But if you never looked at it, go turn on a news station, CNN or whatever news station you watch, and look at them. They're really red. They're red people.
Right.
They really red. And what's interesting is, like I said, once someone brought it to my attention, I looked. I said, God damn, they is red.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, the deception is all over me. I just couldn't see it. But when you look at them, they're red or they're pink, and pink is a derivative of red.
Right.
You got something you want to add?
No, I mean, you daggone right, man. And they change colors. You know what I mean? When they angry, they get red. When they cold, they turn blue. You know what I mean? Right. So like, they can get tan. They can change their color and things like that. But You know what I mean? The one thing that is key, and again, when we read the story, you're going to see, you know what I mean, that it was something that was so different about his birth,
Right.
that hadn't been seen before. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
that's something, you know, we definitely, I know you're gonna pull that out as well.
I mean,
You know
that's
what I
major.
mean?
That's major.
Yeah, it's major.
Actually, I'm glad you said that. So we're gonna start first
Mhm.
at Genesis. We're gonna actually start at Genesis 27. Salakia, Genesis 30, 38. Now, the reason why I'm gonna start here is because what I want to do is I want to attempt to actually show you guys how twins are born on this planet. So we can have two different births. We can have a birth here that's twins, and we can have a birth here that's twins. And we can actually look at the two births and see that there's something different going on with these two births, and why we are making this claim that this is Esau. This is the so-called white man. All right. So what we're gonna do is once again, we're gonna start at verse Genesis 38, and we're gonna start at verse 27.
Con.
All right, hold on real quick. I just want to run it by them again so they can really understand where we're coming from. What we're going to do is we're going to show you two different births. Both of them are twins. All right, and we're going to show you the difference in the Jacob and Esau's birth. It was a difference in the two. So once again, Genesis 39. I mean, Salakia 38 verse 27.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 38 and verse 27.
Come on.
And it came to pass in the time of her travail that behold, twins were in her womb.
Now, just to give you, just to bring you up to date on what's going on. What's going on here is that Tamar, I think this is about Tamar. Yeah, it's about Tamar, and Tamar was married to one of Jacob's sons, and Jacob's son had actually died. And when he died, it was a law that that's supposed to take place. I'm going to go on a sidebar real quick because I want to bring something out real quick, just to show that we had laws, statutes, and commandments that was passed down from Adam, even down to Jacob, right? Even down to Isaac and Jacob and Moses. All right. We had certain laws that were still in place. Give me Deuteronomy 25 and 5.
All
right. We're going to read this law first, and then we're going to go back to Genesis 38 and 27. All right. Now, in Genesis 30, you can go to it, but don't read it yet. In Genesis 38, it's actually about a woman by the name of Tamar that was married to one of Judah's sons, his first son, actually, right? His name was his firstborn son, and he had a wife, and the wife name was Tamar, and he died. We're gonna take a look at that, but he died, and his brother supposed to had given him a child in his name. He's supposed to have laid with his wife, his widow. He's supposed to have laid with that widow and supposed to have gave her a child. And Tamar's fast thinking. Tamar went and dressed herself up as a prostitute and actually slept with Judah. And we're gonna take a look at that as a sidebar to go along with this, just to show you that there was some laws that was in place before Moses actually gave them to the nation. All right, go ahead, read that up.
You 38.
No, Deuteronomy 25 and 5.
Okay, this is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 25 and verse 5. If brethren dwell together,
if brethren dwell together, go ahead.
And one of them die,
come on,
and have no child,
and have no children, go ahead.
The wife of the dead shall not marry without unto a stranger.
Okay, so if the brother dies, right, and they didn't have any children, it's saying that the wife of that brother that died, she can't go and marry anyone else. She can't go marry nobody else. Go ahead, read.
Her husband's brother shall go in unto her.
Her brother's husband, Salaki, her husband's brother
Mhm.
has to lay with her. Read.
And take her to him to wife,
Go ahead.
and perform the duty of a husband's brother unto her.
Read.
And it shall be that the firstborn which she beareth shall succeed in the name of his brother which is dead.
All right. So we
Mhm.
kind of we understand this is a law that was given by Moses.
Right.
Now let's go back to Genesis 38.
It's the book of Genesis, chapter 38, and verse 27.
Do me a
Oh.
favor. Start at verse 6.
Okay, this is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 38, and verse 6. And Judah took a wife for Er, his firstborn, whose name was Tamar. And Er, Judah's firstborn, was wicked in the sight of the Lord, and the Lord slew him.
So he killed him. Go ahead, read.
And Judah said unto Onan, Go in unto thy brother's wife, and marry her, and raise up seed to thy brother. And Onan knew that the seed should not be his.
So he knew that this was now understand now, this is a law. This law is actually in the law of Moses, but this is way before Moses came on the scene.
Okay.
So where did they get this law from? This law was passed down from Adam all the way down to Noah to Salakia, from Noah to Abraham to his son Isaac. All right, go ahead.
And it came to pass when he went in unto his father's and unto his brother's wife, that he spilled it on the ground, lest that he should give seed to his brother.
So what did he do? He came out. Instead of leaving that seed in, he brought that seed out and spilled it on the ground. Go ahead.
Right. And the thing which he did displeased the Lord, wherefore he slew him also.
So he slew him also. Read.
Then said Judah to Tamar, his daughter-in-law, Remain a widow at thy father's house till till Shelah my son be grown. For he said, Lest peradventure he die also, as his brethren did. And Tamar went and dwelt in her father's house.
All right, so now we're going to jump up a little bit, because she had to actually dress herself up, disguise herself to sleep with Judah in order to save the bloodline, the actual lineage of Judah. So this was a righteous act what she did. You can read it later. I don't want to go too much into it. I just wanted to really put that out there and get people to understand and, spark the mind of someone that is looking at this to see that they were following certain Mosaic laws, quote unquote Mosaic laws, before Moses came on the scene, because they got it from Adam. Adam passed it down, and this is how it got to Judah and to our people right here, to the 12 tribes of Israel. So now let's go ahead and get into the birth, because eventually she slept with Judah. Tamar slept with Judah, and they had twins. She got pregnant with twins. So I want you to take it again and start from verse 27.
Okay. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 38, and verse 27.
Come on.
And it came to pass in the time of her travail that, behold, twins were in her womb. And it came to pass when she travailed, that the one put out his hand.
All right, so the first child put out his hand. Read.
And the midwife took and bound upon his hand a scarlet thread, saying, This came out first.
So why was it necessary for her to do that? It was necessary for her to do that is because they would both look the same.
Right.
If everybody on the planet is melanated people, right? How would you know which child was the first child, which child was the second child, if you're laying them down? So you had to put some form of marker on that child to indicate that this is the firstborn.
Right.
All right.
Kanamakan.
Read.
And it came to pass as he drew back his hand, that behold, his brother came out. And she said, how hast thou broken forth? This breach be upon thee. Therefore his name was called Pharez.
Come on.
And afterwards came out his brother that had the scarlet thread upon his hand, and his name was called Zerah.
So he actually wound up coming out second. But the point is, these two children had to have an identity marker because they were twins in the womb,
Right.
And they both would look the same, right? So this is what we did. This is what we did in Israel when we gave birth to twins. We have to put some form of marker on the child to indicate that the child is the firstborn or the secondborn. All right. So now we're gonna go and look at Jacob and Esau. Genesis chapter 25.
Kanamakan.
You're gonna start at verse 20.
All right, Kanamakan. It's the book of Genesis, chapter 25 and verse 20.
Come on.
Oh, Salakia. One more. And Isaac was 40 years old when he took Rebekah to wife, the daughter of Bethuel, the Syrian, at Padanaram, the sister to Laban, the Syrian. And Isaac entreated the Lord for his wife, because she was barren. And the Lord was entreated of him, and Rebekah his wife conceived.
All right. So Isaac, he went and petitioned the Lord because his wife wasn't having any babies. She wasn't getting pregnant. So he went and he spoke to Yahweh, and Yahweh says that Yahweh was intrigued with him, and Rebekah, his wife, she conceived. She's pregnant. Read.
Right. Come. And the children of Salakia. Yes, come. And the children struggled together within her. And she said, if it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of the Lord.
All right. So it was a struggle. It was turmoil going on inside of her womb. All right. And the scripture says it was a struggle. So it was actually an actual struggle between the two. A struggle in position, a struggle in whatever's going on in there. It was a struggle going in there. And she like, hey, listen, I know I was barren, and the Lord actually blessed me and allowed me to conceive. So why is it that I'm having this struggle? Why is I'm having some form of turmoil in my womb of this blessing that the Lord gave me? All right.
Right.
You got anything you want to add?
I mean, like you said, like in the first story that you gave, you know what I mean? You had the two twins that came out, you know what I mean? And you know, they got that marker. You see what I'm saying? This is very well. Listen, man. And of course we're going to get to it in that story. I mean, in the story, man, we've been fighting. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like we've been fighting like when we was embryos, man. You know what I'm saying? And that's why it's so heavy, because you know with what the Most High is about to tell Rebekah is man, we just gonna go into it, man. But it's just real heavy that, you know, we've and understanding that they have a perpetual hate. That hatred is forever.
Right. Exactly.
You know what I mean?
I wanted to touch on, Salakia.
Yeah.
That right there, heavy. Because look, when you think about what's going on right now, before the children came out of the womb, before they did any good or evil, right? There was a struggle going on.
Right.
So there was a hatred from within the womb. There was a hatred. So it was a dislike and a division, period, from the rip, from conception. And I think that right there is really heavy. Right.
And if I may, sir, another thing that's heavy about it is that the Most High knows what he's setting up. You know what I'm saying? He knows what's in you before that thing comes out. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Like he already knows what he put into place. You know what I mean? Like, you know how like the Christian church like to say he knows every hair on my head, he counts the hairs on. Well, he knows more than that. You know what I'm saying? So, and this right here pretty much shows that he knew you before you were in the womb.
Just like dealing with Jeremiah. He said, before I formed thee in the womb, I knew thee. So right here is she like, hey, what's going on? Like,
right.
Come on. Like it's some fighting going on.
This is ridiculous.
Yeah, like I came to you, you blessed me, and now I'm pregnant, and now this is going on. So now the Lord answered her, verse 23.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 25 and verse 23. And the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb.
How many?
2 nations are in thy womb.
2 nations. This is the Lord saying what's inside of her womb. Go ahead.
And 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels.
So they're going to be separated. So these are twins, but they're not identical twins. What they call these fraternal twins?
Fraternal, kind of kind.
Right. So these are fraternal twins. These are not identical twins. These are not twins that look the same, because he says clearly, and 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels. So they're going to be separated, period. They're not, it's not a unity thing here going. It's not no brotherhood thing going on. It says they're going to be separated from thy bowels. So period. There's a division between these 2 children. And this was ordained by the Most High. Read.
And the one people shall be stronger than the other people.
Yep, we definitely that.
And the elder shall serve the younger.
Come on. Oh, Salaki, real quick.
I was whoa.
Because when it says that one people shall be stronger than the other, listen, look around you. Because what we have to do is we have to examine the evidence at this point. All right. We have to examine the evidence, because no one is still running around holding that name Esau or Jacob or anything. So at this point, we got to start looking at the attributes. We got to start
characteristics.
Right. We have to, because this is how we're going to be able to identify who we are. The scripture says there's going to be signs. There's going to be signs and there's going to be wonders. And those signs and those wonders, they're showing us who it is, who this nation is, what that nation is, what that nation is, who that nation is. So when it says the younger shall be stronger than the other, we know, according to what we see on the earth with sports. I'm just going to try to sum it up. With sports, with everything, we've invented everything. I know it was a woman that did a video. She did a Facebook video a while ago. It was like a couple years ago. And she said that an Edomite had actually told her to go back to Africa. And she was like, well, if I go back, I got to take the things that I brought. Did you ever see that video?
No.
She said, well, I got to take the traffic light. I got to take heart surgery. I got to take you. Yeah, she started naming all the things that we as those stronger people came up with.
Right.
And guess what? It was damn near nothing left in America.
Right.
You ain't never see that video?
Nah.
Yeah, there was a video that was out on it, and that was a strong and powerful video, because if you can see all the things that we really invented. The greatest thing that the people that came and stole this land from us, from our people, and put us in slavery, the greatest thing they did for themselves was create a copyright infringement law, so that they can copyright things, so that they can take it. You know what I'm saying? Because we are stronger than they are, mentally, physically, everything. We clear across the board. We just stronger, right?
Right.
Than the older, right? And and what's important too, it says, and the elder shall serve the younger. So
that's heavy.
Right. That's very heavy, because it says that he's going to serve us. Right now, we're serving him. We're serving him. And I want to pull a precept real quick just to bring some attention to that very point. Give me 2nd Ezra 6.
Because
when the kingdom comes, there's going to be a change. There's going to be a change in power. All right, it's going to be a change in power. Now, in Second Ezra, we're going to start at what verse? You going to start at? Because Salakia, hold on for 1 second.
You said 6.
Start where?
You said chapter 6.
Is it? Yeah.
So what you want? 9? You want 9? No, let me see. You said
start at 7.
8. All right, 7. Come on.
7. Now, what's going on is the prophet Ezra is actually speaking to the Lord and asking the Lord to show him some things. So this is what you about to actually show him. Remember, we just read in Genesis 25 and 23, it says, and Yahweh said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb, 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels, one shall be stronger than the other, and the elder shall serve the younger. All right. And we know right now that nobody is serving us right now. We're actually doing the serving. So I just want to bring you guys in on this, on how they're going to serve us. All right. And Ezra is actually asking about the end times. So we're going to start at this is the Apocrypha, 2nd Ezra chapter 6 and verse 7. Read.
The book of 2nd Ezra chapter 6 and verse 7. Then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the times?
So when he says a parting asunder of the times, he's saying the leaving and the dividing of the times. I'm gonna say it again. The leaving and dividing of the times. So he's asking the question when the world ends and when the world and the new world begins. That's what basically he's asking. When it's leaving and it's divided. Read.
Or when shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that followeth?
So he gave you clarification on what he meant when he says parting us under. Right. He's actually saying, read that again.
Or when shall he, or when shall be the end of the first and the beginning?
When shall be the end of the first? Meaning, when shall it be the end of the world as we know it now? What's going on now? All right. So he's asking, when shall this end? The end of the first. Read.
And the beginning of it that followeth.
And the beginning of it that follow me. The beginning of the kingdom of heaven. The beginning of when Yahweh shall return, and when it's time for us to rule on this earth over the people that were oppressing us. Right. That's what he's asking. Verse 8.
And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. For Esau is the end of the world.
Read it again.
For Esau is the end of the world.
So what is he saying when he says Esau is the end of the world? What he's saying is that Esau is ruling the world at the end. At the end of the world, Esau will be ruling. Remember, he asked the question. He says, when shall be the end of the first? The end of the first is Esau. Then he asks, and the beginning of that followeth.
That followeth.
Read now read the second part of verse 9.
And Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth.
So there it is. So this is how he's going to serve us. Go back to Genesis 25 and 23. This is how he's going to serve us. He's going to serve us now. Salakia, real quick. He was serving us, and we're gonna talk about that. He was serving us, but then something took place according to the scriptures. Prophecy took place, and this is how he got into that position to be ruling in the end. All right. So,
Okay.
all right. So read 23 and then go down to 24.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 25 and verse 23. And the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels.
Come on.
And the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elders shall serve the younger.
Come on.
And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb.
Come on.
And the first came out red all over like an hairy garment.
Read.
And they called his name Esau.
All right, so this first one came out red all over, so they didn't have to tie anything. I'm quite sure they had something ready. They had something ready for when the child was born. They had something ready. Soon as the child was born,
they had that red tie ready.
Yeah, but they was like, "Oh snap!
Oh snap!"
Like
the baby
red
red
all over, like a hairy garment.
Go
ahead.
Shoot,
now,
like the garment I was about to tie around his leg.
Right, exactly. That's what it looked like. Actually, we're gonna take a look at something on what this possibly had looked like. But look, check this out. What's heavy about this is that it says, and the first came out red all over like an hairy garment. So he was hairy, and we all know. Listen. If they ain't invent the razor, they look like Bigfoot's around this joint.
Oh, Yeti's out this mug.
Those are hairy people. And we all know that when you have a child, the child is going through trauma to come forth, pushing and struggling and fighting to come out. When that child comes out, that child is red.
Right.
You can see the redness of Esau. You can see it. You can actually see it. If you Google right now, a child of that descendant being born, you'll actually see how red they are. They're very red. All right. And the reason why they're red is because you have to understand the skin is made up of 2 levels, right? Two it's divided into 2. You got the epidermis and you got the dermis, right? When you look at the epidermis, the top layer of the epidermis is called stratum lucidum, if I'm pronouncing it right. And it also has another name called clear skin. And the reason why it says it's clear because you can see through it. You can see through it, right? And when you see through it, you can see the red blood cells. That's what you're seeing when you see that redness. You're seeing the red blood cells from that phenomelated skin. Now, why I say pheno? Because you have two types of melanins, really, that's dominant when it comes to this, especially producing red hair. All right. You got uromelanin and you got phenomelanin. When you look at phenomelanin produce blonde to red. That's what it produces. It produces blonde to red. But phenomelanin, which is the melanin that we have, produces brown to black. So it's a difference in the 2. And we're talking about this hair because remember, it's saying that he came out red all over like a hairy garment. You got something you want to add?
That's too wild right there. You know, and if I may, now that I think about it, you know, they was fighting, like you said, man. And Esau ran up out of that thing, boy, and he got Jacob grabbed that hill.
When they red,
it ain't over.
When they
That's
fight,
right.
When they get angry, it's some red. It's some red.
So when he came out red like a hairy garment, man, that baby was going through some trauma.
Right. Right. Now this hairy garment, what exactly did it look like? So we're going to try to give you guys a visual from the scriptures on how and what they saw and what it looked like. If you go to Exodus 26 and 14, when you talk about chapter 26, it's talking about the tabernacle. All right. It's talking about when they was building the tabernacle, right? And there was a certain cover of the tent that they covered the tent with. All right. And this is the visual on what they saw. Remember, they said he was red all over like a hairy garment. So we're gonna go to Exodus 26 and 14. Read.
Khan. This is the book of Exodus, chapter 26 and verse 14. All right. For he had possession of flocks and possession of herds.
So Salaki, Exodus 26 and 14.
Oh, Salakia. Exodus chapter 26 and verse 14. And thou shalt make a covering for the tent of rams, ram skins, dyed red.
What?
Dyed red.
So this is what they saw when they said it looked like a hairy garment. This is what it looked like. It looked like the cover of the tent with ram skin dyed red. Like it wasn't something that they just, oh, this look red. This is something that they were familiar with in Genesis. Go, you got anything else on that?
No, it was 14. And it covered. No, that was it.
That was it. All right, so now let's go back to Genesis. I just want to give the listeners an idea and an understanding that this is what they saw. When they saw that red and that hair, this is not something that they're not used to seeing. We use dye. All right. We use dye. We use things to dye things red. And that was an example of us dyeing a tent with fur on it red. So when it said, when the scripture says that he came out red all over like a hairy garment, right? And they called his name Esau. The name Esau means hairy. Some definitions, they say waste away. So this was the first one. And notice they didn't have to tie anything on this child like they had to do the first one that we read.
All
right, verse 26. Let's go.
And after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold on Esau's heel. And his name was called Jacob. And Isaac was 80 years old when she bare them.
All right, so they didn't have to do anything to Jacob. You know why? Because Jacob looked like everybody else.
Right.
The marker was already, without them having to tie anything or put a marker on Esau, he came out with a natural marker. He came out with a mark. He came out with a mark already.
Right. Already.
But that's
kind of Khan. Yeah, I was about to say, woo-wee.
Yeah, right. All right, let's go. Keep going.
And the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter, a man of the field, and Jacob was a plain man, dwelling in tents.
Just chilling. He just like chilling in a tent. You know what I'm saying?
Just like we do right now. We like to chill. You know what I mean? We don't like to go out and hunt deer and oak and all that stuff and you know what I mean, shooting up people. We like to chill.
Yeah, we don't like to go and put bear piss on us so we can lure bears or lure some type of animal so we can kill them. Do all that.
Right. No, we don't do all that. We in the crib, you know what I mean, chilling, doing our reading, watching our documentaries, you know what I mean, playing our Xbox and stuff.
We just be chilling, man.
We chilling, you know what I mean? Got our beer, you know what I mean? Yeah. Watching the game.
We ain't into all that.
Yeah, we ain't doing all that extra stuff.
All right, go ahead, read. So this is the different Salakia. Real quick, I just want to point out that these are different attributes of these two brothers. When it says in verse 27, and the brothers grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter, we know that they love to hunt.
They love to hunt.
They love, you go in their crib, they got deers and rams and bears.
Kind of what kind
all over that place.
It's a lot, if I may, sir. It's animals that's extinct because of their need to hunt.
Yeah,
their love for hunting.
They love it. They love it. They love it. We listen. You know we ain't into that.
No, we ain't going around the lions and tigers and bears. Oh my, we ain't. That ain't us.
Ain't us. I'm just chilling. Yeah. Just relaxing. I ain't got time for all that. But we know that they are cunning hunters. All right. Very cunning. Okay. Right. Read.
And the Salakia, and Isaac loved Esau because he did eat of his venison, but Rebekah loved Jacob.
That's interesting right there. That's interesting right there because we see in the scriptures that they did have favors. Even Jacob had a favorite out of his 12 sons. They have favorites. It happens. It just happens. You know what I'm saying? So it's not something that's unusual. I know people like, oh my God, I can't do that. I love them both the same. Listen, I'm not saying you don't love all the
You
children.
don't love your kids, but you definitely love one kind of kind. Salakia, sir.
No, go ahead. You got it.
No, I was just going to I was kind of piggybacking off what you were saying, man. Like we that is something that we love to say. I love my children the same, but you got that one child that just is one disobedient, don't do nothing you ask him to do, gets bad grades and everything, and then you got the other child that does everything you ask him to do. You ain't got to tell him twice. You see what I'm saying? You know that's your favorite, but just because of the show. And you don't want people to think that you choose favorites and stuff like that. You want to say that, oh no, I love my children the same. You're a liar.
Right.
You're a liar.
So it ain't nothing wrong if you feel like,
yeah,
I like my youngest.
Yeah.
Got a special place in my heart.
Yeah, I don't feel no different when I knew my mom, you know what I mean, loved my sister more than me. I used to get in trouble all the time. I knew how it was, but it didn't mean that they didn't love me. It just means that I got on their nerves more.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So it's nothing wrong with it. So don't
ain't nothing wrong with it, man. Don't take it personal. Kind with kind. And Jacob sod pottage, and Esau came from the field, and he was faint.
Now this part right here is crucial in understanding everything about Jacob and Esau and this birthright. This part right here is crucial. This part is crucial because this just shows the type of liar Esau is. This shows the type of cunning hunter Esau is. This shows the disgusting behavior that we have seen time and time and time again done by Esau, especially when he loved to make covenants and break them. Oh, he loves it.
Oh, he's the covenant breaker.
He loves that. He he loves to do that. So this right here and understanding the event, and once again, I don't like to say the word story because the word story can mean fiction.
Right.
We like to use the word event. I like to use the word event because this is a true and real historical event that took place.
Right.
So verse 29 through 34, crucial in all of this.
Absolutely.
Did Jacob steal Esau's birthright?
There it is.
Did he steal it?
And you know what?
All the Christians want to say it. Salakia, go ahead.
Kind of, Salakia, sir, if I may. You know, it's crazy because without reading this story, that's what the whole narrative is. You see what I'm saying? And I remember hearing it, in church and how, he took advantage of his brother Esau. He was faint and he took advantage of him, and he knew that he had an opportunity to take his birthright. So he waited until he was all hungry and stuff like that. Let me tell you something, man. Oh, Salakia, sir, if I may.
Oh, go ahead, because that sounds crazy.
It does, man.
Where did they get that from?
And you know what? Think about it like this: if you really understood your birthright, you know what I'm saying? If you really loved it, do you think some food, a piece of meat, you know what I mean, will make you give that up? Like, think about it like this: we know the story in the Maccabees about the woman and her 7 sons. You see what I'm saying? How they offer her all types of riches, and all she had to do was convince her youngest son to eat ham. And she said, I'd rather die.
That's right.
We rather die. You see what I'm saying? Because we don't want to upset the Most High. This dude right here was just a little hungry. He just was a little hungry. He wasn't really about to die. He was just a little just carnal. Because
they love to say that carnal. He wanted to feed flesh.
Yeah, he just was a little hungry. You know what I'm saying? He ain't eat. He been working hard, and he was hungry. It wasn't like he wasn't going to eat. It wasn't like he couldn't make something himself. He just wanted it right then and right there. Right then and right there.
Just like Esau.
You know what I mean? He wanted his meat nice and red and bloody.
Right.
He didn't want you to. He wanted it right. Like the meat wasn't even done. You see what I'm saying? When we read on in this event, he wanted that thing. Give it to me right now. I'm about to die. I'm about to die.
And
he was.
they just skip over this. Salakia, go ahead.
Oh no, Salaki, sorry. The man didn't care about his birthright.
Right.
He never cared about being a child of Abraham and Isaac. Never cared about it. Never. So he was like, man, I don't care about that. I mean, shoot, go ahead and take the birthright. But go ahead. That's all I had to say on that.
Man. No, I'm with you, and what you bringing out is heavy. I mean, this is so important. I mean, you know, these are the things that Christians say, and Christians will say that he took advantage of him.
Yeah,
he was hungry. Yeah, listen, man, that's all. Look, if I don't want to sell you nothing, man, I ain't gotta sell it to you.
I ain't got
It's not that hard,
right?
Go ahead, let's go.
Kind of kind. And Esau said, "Behold, oh Salakia." And Jacob said, "Oh, let me go back up." And Esau said to Jacob, "Feed me, I pray thee, with that same red pottage, for I am faint." Therefore was his name called Edom.
So once again, his name was called Edom. Edom became the Edomites. Now we're gonna have we probably gonna have 2 more parts to this. All right,
absolutely,
because there's so much information that we have to bring out pertaining to this, and we really want to take our time and look at every event dealing with Esau and what Christians say. And this is a major point. The beginning and the birth of Jacob and Esau, how they feel as though that Jacob stole Esau's birthright. So right here, he's called Edom. The word Edom means red. And once again, they became the Edomites. All right, read.
And Jacob said, "Sell me this day thy birthright."
It was just that easy. Listen, he came in, he said, listen, I'm about to faint, man. I'm hungry, I'm starving, man. Listen, you think maybe you could just give me some, man, please? He could have said that.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly.
He could have said that.
And Salakia, sir, if I may, you could tell by just how this narrative is going. Like he was just like, you know, feed me, like give it to me. You know what I mean? I pray, but you know, he kind of was. He said, "I pray thee." You know what I mean? With that same, you know, he kind of was just like, "Come on, man, feed me that bread. Come on, man, please." And Jacob was like,
when Jacob said, "Sell me his birthright," he could have said, "No, just let me get some."
Exactly.
A little bit. And Jacob would have gave him some.
Exactly. And honestly, man, so like if I may, sir, Jacob probably knew that he didn't care about this birthright. Jacob knew he was very loosely with how he with the heritage of their fathers.
Exactly. And remember, the scripture says they 2 different manner of people. So because they're 2 different manner of people, he had attributes. Esau had attributes, which is called Edom, and Jacob had attributes. You know what I'm saying? So this is heavy right here. In verse 31, I really want y'all to really hold on to verse 31, because verse 31 is the pivotal point right here. This is the point where he says, "Sell me this day thy birthright." He's talking, Jacob is talking to Esau. He could have said no, but what did he say? Read.
Verse 32. And Esau said, "Behold, I am at the point to die. And what profit shall this birthright do to me?"
Now, come on. This boy, this boy was capping. This boy was capping. "I'm about to die." Hey, you ain't about to die, man. You ain't about to die. But once again, he wanted, it was something that he wanted. And because he wanted it, he was willing to make a covenant for it that he was not willing to keep. Just like the Americans.
Yep.
Just like the Americans, just like Europe, just like Spain, just like anywhere Esau go. Even over there on the continent of Africa, the 1877 Berlin Conference, everything. If Esau wanted, Esau is willing to do whatever it takes to get it. And once
cunning
again,
and deceiving.
Yep, cunning. He's a cunning hunter. A hunter is someone that hunts and gathers, collects. You know what I'm saying? So Esau knew exactly what he was doing right there. He knew he cared for his birthright, but he wanted to feed his flesh so bad. He like, come on, oh, behold, I'm at the point I'm about to die. How can my birthright profit me if I die?
Right.
That's just like, come on, you got to really read this and really put yourself in this position. Like, He wasn't about to die. It didn't say he crawled in. It didn't say his capillaries was about to bust. It didn't say
Right.
his eyes was about to shoot out his head or anything like that. Or it didn't say anything like that. This is all Esau wanting something that he saw, and he was willing to make a covenant, even though he knew that he was not going to keep that covenant.
Kind of one kind. So, Laki, if I may, you gotta understand too, our words really meant something back in these days. You see what I'm saying? When you said something, when you made a covenant, you were to keep that covenant. See, today your words don't mean a daggone thing. You know what I mean? You playing. You know what I mean? Hey man, come on, man. Look out, man. I give you $100 tomorrow. Come on, brother. Look out for it, brother. You know what I'm saying? And you like, all right, man, make sure I get my 100. Then tomorrow comes like, man, I was just fooling y'all. Those was jokes. Those was jokes. I was just fooling y'all, man. You see what I'm saying? So that's what, when people look at this story, that's how they think they spoke back then. But no, when you made a vow, you kept that vow, man. You could die if you made a vow and you didn't keep it.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? You can die because of that. So when as we going on, Jacob didn't just say sell me this birthright, and then Esau was like, all right, here I'm gonna die, so it's whatever, and it was over. Jacob went in a little bit more.
Damn right.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Verse 33, it says, and Jacob said, swear to me this day.
Now that's so important right there, because now he's saying your word, just like you said, your oath. You giving me an oath right now. You're swearing to me this day. And this is heavy. This is big. Like Officer Zawar said, this carried a lot of weight. This carried a lot of weight. You're only as good as your word.
Right.
You're only as good as your word. Read.
Kind. And he swore unto him.
So he swore. He said, yeah, man, listen, man, you can have it.
You got it.
I'm good. I'm good. And you know something was heavy about this too? I'm quite sure because the scripture says that Isaac loved Esau. I'm quite sure Isaac told Esau about the promise that was made to his father,
Abraham.
I'm quite sure. Just like I'm quite sure he told Jacob. But Jacob, he believed that. He believed, and he wants that birthright.
Right.
And like you said, he knew Esau didn't care for that birthright. He knew he didn't really care for it. And this is evidence of it. Go ahead.
And here's something else heavy. Jacob didn't know yet what the Most High told Rebekah.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So this wasn't no plot. This wasn't no, well, shoot, I remember my mom told me that so let me go ahead and, take this opportunity right now to steal it.
Right. And we're going to prove that too.
We definitely going to prove that.
Right. Go ahead.
Jacob definitely didn't know as of yet. You know what I mean? Neither did Isaac. Neither did Esau. None of them knew but Rebekah. You see what I'm saying? And he swore unto him. That's what it says next. And Esau, and it says, and he swore unto him, and he sold his birthright unto Jacob.
Very important. You can't erase
signed, sealed
things that Christians say. You can't say, oh, well, he stole it. No, it says right here. Read it again.
It says, let me start from the top, sir. It says,
just in the end.
All right, and he swore unto him, and he sold his birthright unto Jacob.
He sold it.
He sold it.
You can't say, oh, he stole it.
How you gonna say that?
He sold it. It's very important that you see this and you take this in, because I was on Clubhouse, man. This was a big thing. This is a big thing. And I mean, Christians just wanted to make Jacob a villain.
Right.
They just wanted to make, he was a bad and evil person. And y'all follow after the progenitor of an evil and wicked person.
Yep. Kind of one kind.
Y'all don't see it says, and he sold his birthright. The he there is Esau. Is Edom. He sold his birthright. So now at that point, it's over for him. There's nothing else to talk about. And I'm going to show you how, when we get to chapter 27, on how Esau, if he had any little speck of righteousness in him,
right, He'd
He
have
could
said
have
something
dealt with
different.
this.
Exactly.
Right? This whole thing could have been different.
Exactly.
But the quick thinking of a strong Salakia, of a woman of the Most High God, and because she believed, and because of her faith, she saved the nation. She made sure that it was exactly what the Lord said to her, and we're gonna talk about that more when we get to it. All right, verse 34.
Then Jacob gave Esau bread and pottage of lentils, and he did eat and drink, and rose up and went his way. Thus Esau despised his birthright.
So he despised it. He hated it. He didn't want nothing to do with it.
Where do we get stolen?
Yeah.
Where do we get stolen?
Crazy. They don't look at this part.
You're throwing it out. Like it's utterly amazing when you go back and read a lot of these scriptures, man. It is so clear how they twisted the scriptures, man. And it's like, why twist the scriptures? I mean, it's bad enough that all your images that you see, those has been twisted. They've been painted over. You getting a totally different person than was actually depicted in these Bibles. Everybody's misrepresented. But daggone, man, you can't even tell me about the daggone animals that went on Noah's Ark. You know what I mean? You can't tell me about anything that has to do with the Bible. Everything if you out there and you in a Christian church, everything that you've been told is a lie.
Period.
All you got to do is read it for yourself. Don't even if they sit there and tell you lean not on your own understanding, they're telling you it a lying way. They're lying to you.
They want you to lean on the pastor's way.
They want to lean on the pastor and what the pastor is saying. By you reading it for yourself, that's them saying that you're leaning on your own understanding. But what I'm here to tell you is that when it says lean not on your own understanding, mean don't trust any other way. You should only love this way. You see what I'm saying? There's only one way. You must hate every other way. So you're not going to lean on your understanding. You're going to read precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little, there a little, until it matches with everything that's written in the book. Don't go off on a tangent and start talking about how David Goliath has to do with you conquering your battles at your job. You see what I'm saying? This is all about your heritage and things that we went through in order to understand that the promises, God is not lacking in his promises. Listen, man, let's just go ahead on in, man. Because it just cracks me up. Like I'm reading this again and it's bringing it back up in my spirit. Like, God, dog, man, where do we get these things? Why are we just coming out here and saying Jacob is this? You see what I'm saying? When it's clear as day. It's clear as day.
Slavery was just really, really hard on our people. All
Man,
right. It was really, I mean, Esau did a brilliant job.
Yeah, he's amazing.
He did a brilliant
cunning
job. Very cunning. He's a cunning hunter. He's a cunning hunter. All right, so now we're gonna go to Genesis chapter 27. Let me see. All right.
You go straight to 27?
Yeah, we're gonna go right over to 27, and now we're gonna actually look at the event. This is the one that everybody say, "Oh, not only did he stole his birthrights, they lied and they conniving and all of these things." I mean, this was a big discussion in the barbershop today.
Yeah,
this is huge.
Shoot, I mean, matter of fact, I think I want to remember way back in the day, me and you used to fuss over this, right? I want to say.
I didn't want to bring that up. I didn't want to bring that up.
Hey, I know my faults, man. I was deep in the church, man. But go ahead, man. Let me see. Chapter 27. You want me to start at verse 1?
Verse 1, Con.
All right. Chapter 27, this is Book of Genesis, chapter 27 and verse 1. And it came to pass that when Isaac was old and his eyes were dim, so that he could not see, I'm gonna start that over. And it came to pass that when Isaac was old and his eyes were dim, so that he could not see.
Very important. He couldn't see.
Very important. He couldn't see. Now Esau knows this, don't he?
Yeah, he know.
Yeah, Esau know.
Now, Salaki, if I may, very important as you reading this, understand what Officer Azar Ward just said. He knows that his father really can't see good.
Right.
Go ahead.
Kind. He called Esau his eldest son and said unto him, my son. And he said unto him, behold, here am I.
So this is him. This is Isaac having a conversation with his son Esau.
Mhm.
You remember the one we just read about? His
Right.
name is Edom. He just sold his birthrights and he despised it. I want to say that again in case one of the Christians, they missed that. He
Can you say that one, Salakia, sir, if I may? Can you say, can you do the swear part first, then sold?
Yeah, he swore.
He swore.
It's very important that you understand that he swore unto him. He swore unto Jacob.
Yep. It's like, I swear to you. Yeah, man, I swear, bro.
You got it. It's yours.
On my word. On my word.
Now he ain't gonna say he will say so he actually, it's very important to understand that now. It's very very important to understand it. So he called his son and he said, behold, Esau said, behold, here I am. Read.
Here I am. Here I am. And he said, behold, now I am old. I know not the day of my death.
So he don't know when he's going to die.
Right.
Right. He has no clue. Right. Read.
Now, therefore, take, I pray thee, thy weapons, thy quiver, and thy bow, and go out to the field and take me some venison.
Come on.
And make me savory meat, such as I love. Oh, so he can make his own meat, huh? And bring it to me that I may eat, that my soul may bless thee before I die.
Now, that right then and there, Esau, we should be reading, and Esau said, hold it, father. I sold my birthright.
Right.
I sold my birthright to my brother.
Right.
I sold it. But he didn't do that. This is to my Christians that say they try to lift Esau up and bring Jacob down.
Right.
Say Jacob stole Esau's birthright. He didn't steal anything. It was sold to him.
He's such a victim.
Yeah. It's just like Esau.
He's such a victim.
Go ahead.
Oh my goodness. And Rebekah heard when Isaac spake to Esau his son, and Esau went to the field to hunt for venison and to bring it.
Now listen.
That's heavy.
It is because you think about. Come on, our sisters,
right?
Our sisters. A woman of our stock. If she hears something, boom, she already ahead. She like 5 years ahead thinking about that thing.
She on go.
It all out. She done put it all together. Bang, 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 bang. She done put it all together. We are the ones that right then and there we hear something. We only right there.
Right.
We only right there. She's already ahead. So when it says Rebekah, which is a sister, when Rebekah spoke unto Jacob, her son, saying, behold, I heard thy father speak to Esau, thy brother. So she heard it. So like I said, she's already ahead of the game. Remember, she's the one that actually got the information about the two struggling in her womb. She the one that felt the struggle in her womb. She the one that got the answer about the struggle in her womb. She knows everything that's supposed to take place about these two children. And guess how she know it? She got it from the Most High Power.
And if I may, sir, the thing that kind of trips me out is that it had to say, it doesn't just say, and Rebekah heard when Isaac spake to Esau his son, and then stop. It doesn't say that he heard him say that he's going to bless thee, and then it stops. It made sure to say, and Esau went to the field to hunt for the venison and to bring it. So it wasn't just simply she overheard him saying it. She actually watched as Esau then did not admit. He didn't admit that he sold his birthright. Then he went on out and started to get what he needed to get so he can get that birthright.
Excellent point.
You know what I mean? And that's when she was like, you know what? This mother. Guess what I heard? Guess what? Yeah, right? Did you tell me? Listen here. And Rebekah heard Isaac spoke to Esau, his son, and Esau went to the field to hunt for venison and to bring it. And Rebekah spake unto Jacob her son, saying, Behold, I heard thy father speak unto Esau thy brother, saying, Bring me venison and make the savory meat that I may that I may eat and bless thee before the Lord, before the Lord before my death. Now therefore, my son, obey my voice according to that which I command thee.
Very important, right here, verse 9. I mean, Salakia, verse 8. Says, now therefore, after because remember, she already ahead of the game.
Right.
She already did that. She good. You know, a woman is a sister good. She like bang, bang, bang. Okay, got it. So she already ahead of the game. So she's saying, now, therefore, my son, obey my voice. Very important. Obey my voice according to that which I command thee. What I'm telling you, this is what I want you to do. I want you to obey me. All right. So now, why am I bringing this out? It's because Rebekah is taking charge at this point.
Right.
She's taking the lead on this point. And she's taking the lead and taking such a strong position at this point because, like I said, she already then got the information from
the Most High Power. And you know what, if I may, sir, you know what I mean, that is heavy. You know what I mean? Because, you know, a lot of people will say, well, see, she went ahead and made this move, and therefore a woman can lead and blah, blah, blah. Understand this. She was given authority by the Most High Power. The Most High Power told her this is the way the things were supposed to happen. And you're going to understand when we read further in this event that it was important that she held to what the Most High told her, because if you don't believe what the Most High says, then you're making him to be a liar.
Exactly. That's so important. like you know, these Christians act like she didn't get this information about these two children in her womb, and one shall rule over the other.
Right.
They act like she didn't get this information. She got that information. So by her not, like you said, by her not acting on this right now, she would be actually being out of order.
Way out of order.
Way out of order. Everybody would be out of whack because Esau sold his birthright.
Right.
And the Most High told Rebekah that, listen, the younger is going to rule over the older. The oldest one is going to serve the younger. She told him that.
Kind of a con, sir, if I may. What's also kind of heavy is that, man, listen, man, the Most High knew that Isaac loved Esau. The Most High knew that Isaac was strict about that law, that the first that comes out must get everything. You know what I'm saying? You gotta understand now. I ain't teaching nothing new. You know what I mean? What I will definitely say is, I will put, and I don't put it out there as this. And you know what? I put it like this: if Isaac didn't know what the Most High had told Rebekah. You see what I'm saying? Isaac didn't know that. He told Rebekah only, and not only that, Isaac had to be blind at the end also for this to go down. What's about to happen next? You see what I'm saying? Because again, Isaac loved Esau because of the venison that he brought to him, and it's a possibility that he might not have gone along with the whole, you know, that whole ordeal.
What with him selling his birthright? With
him selling his birthright, because you know Esau would have. I ain't sell my birthright. It'd have been a big old fight. We've been reading the scripture right now about how Esau is Esau's words against Jacob.
Right.
That's what we'd be reading about. You see what I'm saying? But because everything went the other way around, Most High is, I mean, he's a genius, and he knows more than we can ever know or understand. You see what I'm saying? But when you look at certain things in this event, you got to understand that, number one, Isaac loved Esau. He loved him.
Right.
He loved him more than he loved Jacob. And he had to be blind. He was blind at the end. If he had eyes to see, this event wouldn't have took place. If he can see what was going on, there's no way in the world that this story would be different. I'll just say it like that.
Right, right.
This story would be a lot different.
Well, the story would have been different if Esau would have had like a little speck of righteousness in him. He would have
Right.
just told his dad, like, "Hey, whoa, whoa,
Yeah,
whoa,
yeah.
whoa, whoa.
Yeah.
I mean, I go make the food for you, but
bless Jacob. I'm gonna make this venison for you, but give that blessing to Jacob. You know what I mean? Give it to Jacob,
right?
Because I sold it to him, but I'll make the food for you because I love you, Dad. You've been so good to me, Dad. You love me more than Jacob, but you know I sold my birthright, and I'm sorry to disappoint you.
But Christians rather take this event and say, "Oh my God, Rachel and Jacob are
evil." That's because they black.
Conniving, and they got together in cahoots and drew up this plan to steal something from the so-called
white man.
Like
such
you need to be ashamed of yourself just saying that.
Yeah, it's wickedness, man.
Yeah,
it's you know what? It's hatred. It's hatred for your own.
Yeah,
you hate your own.
Taken out back and cane, like beat with a cane stick.
Oh man, so like
it's crazy,
man, crazy. So verse 9, sir. So like, if I may, let me go ahead and read that.
Khan.
All right, Khan Wakan, sir. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 27 and verse 9. Go now to the flock and fetch out me from thence 2 good kids of the goats, and I will make them savory meat for thy father, such as he loveth. And thou shalt bring it to thy father, that he may eat, and that he may bless thee before his death. And Joseph said to Rebekah his mother, behold, Esau my brother is a hairy man, and I am a smooth man.
Very important, because these are attributes. Once again, we all know that Esau hairy, hair all on his back,
right,
all down his arm. He just hairy,
right.
He's a hairy guy. But and what's interesting is this whole the whole goat thing. All right, when you talk about goat hair, all right, goat skin and goat hair, and a certain scent. We're gonna get into that, and a certain scent, because remember, he couldn't see,
right?
So he had to smell him. And you know what he smelled like? A goat, a boat. I mean, a barn.
Right.
Smell like
you know what's crazy? This is funny. This is funny. And I know every black woman that's probably in this chat, and y'all could put a 1 or whatever y'all want to do, but I know y'all know what I'm talking about. All right. My rib used to be like, you know, when you go outside and you know you sweating and everything like that, you know, I don't know if y'all ever heard this term, but I've heard a term where they be like, you smell like a white person, or you smell like outside. You ain't never heard that before?
Yeah, I heard that before.
I've heard women say I've heard it say to my son, like,
oh no, I've never heard that said about moi.
You smell like outside. I heard you smell like outside. And it was like, well, what the heck does the outside smell like? And they'd be like, I don't know. It's like a white person. Like, you smell like outside. I'm like, what is that? I never understand. I've heard that before. I've heard women say you smell like a white person. I'm like, what does a white person smell like? Outside. They do
have a certain scent when they get wet, man. They do. You know, listen, they do. Y'all say, "Oh, that's horrible," but they do, and you gotta understand they don't smell it themselves because they're immune to it. It's them,
right?
You go around somebody such as myself that I'm not around them at all, at all. I mean, you know, I pass by, maybe do business and just keep it moving. Right. I'm not used to all that, you know. So my nose is sensitive to it.
Yeah,
so
I don't know this. Like it, sir. Neither do I. I don't know what they smell, but evidently women do. Right. I've heard women say this before. You know what I mean?
And it's obvious, Salakia, and it's obvious. Jacob, it's obvious that Jacob knew that, Rachel knew that. I mean, Rebecca knew that, and Isaac knew that.
Right.
Isaac knew that because that's one of the things that he used to identify him with, and we're gonna see that later. All right.
Kind
All right,
of.
verse 12.
My father peradventure will feel me, and I shall seem to him as a deceiver, and I shall bring a curse upon me and not a blessing.
So now here is Jacob.
Ooh,
He's behaving in a righteous manner. I
that's
know they
right.
say he was such a horrible person, and he's just so cunning and so slick and so wicked. I mean, you had to hear these things that they were saying
Yeah,
about Jacob.
I've heard it. I've definitely heard it. Kind of
They
kind, sir.
got Esau all the way up here, and they brought
Yeah,
Jacob all the way down here. I'm
kind of
trying to
kind.
tell you, man, it was crazy. It was
Mhm.
crazy. So here is Jacob actually saying, "Oh no, that won't be cool, mom, because I would look like a liar. I look like somebody that's deceiving, and I just can't do it. I'm good. Please, I don't want to do it. This is what's going on right here, right?
Kind of
You got something you want to add?
Man, absolutely. Slack it, sir, if I may. He basically saying I ain't trying to be like my brother, man. You know what I mean? Like, because the fact of the matter is, yeah,
I don't want to.
yeah, I don't want, it ain't that deep. You see what I'm saying? You know, yeah, he sold me his birthright. Yeah, it should be mine. Yeah, I can go to my father and tell him that, but my father ain't going to believe me. You know what I'm saying? So, but I'm not going to lie to my father. That's just taking advantage of him while he's blind. I can't do that. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And that goes to show you again, he was not being deceiving. He was not being deceiving. He was not trying to take advantage. He was not all these things that we like to say about our brother, our forefather. You see what I'm saying?
And the Christians, he's not all of that what y'all saying.
Yeah, he's
Jacob
not with the kind of kind.
Oh, I'm sorry, Salakia, but you got to really understand. This thing went on and on and on. It started all the way in the front, and it went all the way to the back, arguing that Esau was right and he was mistreated, and Jacob and his mother got together and I mean, it was crazy. Saying that they stole. I mean, this was a big thing, huge, and like I said, also on Clubhouse, huge.
So, Salakia, sir, if I may. So, are they basically saying that Jacob was the first and Esau was the last, and the conditions that we're in right now is because Esau, this is the beginning of his kingdom? You know what I mean? Like, I want to know how. Yeah,
this is why they were saying it. Salakia, if I may, this is what they were saying. What they were saying was they was looking at the actual event that we getting ready to read from verse 14. This is what they were looking at. They wasn't looking at everything that happened before. They didn't look at the fact that he sold his birthrights. They didn't look at the fact that he did it and he despised his birthright. They didn't look at none of that. They didn't look at the fact that Rebecca, before those children came out.
Oh, okay. All right. Kind of kind.
I had already put her down on everything that was going to take place with these children forever in eternity. The kingdom. You know what I'm saying? So it was completely just looking at the actual manifestation, actual act of him going and fetching the goat and getting the goat hair on him and skin and getting that smell on him. And they was only looking at that. They're not looking at the things that took place prior to that. So that's what they're looking at.
They must couldn't, because I'm after everything we read, I was kind of flabbergasted. But go ahead. We just going to say Salakia,
well,
sir.
I was going to say even when I was on Clubhouse and I was debating this in a battle, they still didn't want to let it go. They was using arguments that would say, like, for instance, well, he should have just told him, look, man, I'm gonna give you something to eat and you don't got to sell me your birthright. They were saying stuff like that, like, you know.
Okay.
Yeah. And then when they said that, then I said, well, what about the prophecy that Rebecca got, that the older shall serve the younger? What about that? What were we supposed to ignore that? All of these things, everything that happened was put in place by the Most High to happen like this, so that Jacob could become Israel and he could receive the blessing. All of that was put in place from before the kids was born. Remember, in Romans, It says before they did any good or evil, that the purpose of God according to election might stand. Let's get that real quick.
Come on.
Romans 9, and we're gonna go to Romans 9 and 11. Now, this is in the New Testament. You know, this is New Testament.
It's the book of Romans, chapter 9 and verse 11.
So I can start at verse 10.
It's the book of Romans, chapter 9 and verse 10. And not only this, but when Rebekah also had conceived by one, even by our father Isaac.
Come on.
For the children being not yet born.
So the children wasn't born yet. Read.
Right. Neither having done any good or evil.
So there was no acts of good. There was no acts of evil before the children was born. Read.
That the purpose of God according to election might stand.
Is what the Most High has chosen. What the Most High has chosen must stand. So it was vital for Rebekah to do what she did because of what he just read. Read that again. That the purpose. Go ahead.
That the purpose of God according to election might stand.
Remember, she got that information about that the Most High's choice,
right?
In his election. So she had to act quickly, and guess what? She was led by the Spirit of the Most High.
Not of works, but of him that calleth.
But so it was all about. We can go back. So it was all about the Most High. It was his decision. Cap said, we have to respect the Most High's decision. We have to. No matter how you may feel about it, no matter how you may look upon it, you have to respect his decision. And before those children came out of that womb, there was a choice and a decision already made. It was already laid out. Rebekah was just following orders. Go ahead.
No, that ain't nothing else to be said, man. You ain't never lied. Respect Captain Tower when he said that. That was dynamite, man.
Dynamite. That won my mom over. She was like, "Wow, I never looked at it like that."
A lot of people don't look at it like that. You know what I mean? They just don't respect. They want to do the thinking, and the Bible tells us that our thoughts are not his thoughts, and our ways are not his ways. So understand, man. If you love the Most High like you say you love him, then respect his decisions. Respect the fact that he hates these holy days. You know what I mean? Respect the fact that he understands that a man can have multiple ribs. Respect it. And man, listen, man, I can go on and on. You know what I mean? Respect the fact that you got to keep the law, statutes, and commandments.
Period.
You know what I mean? Respect the fact that he chose you to be a special people above all people.
That's what our people hate the most right there. They hate that. I mean, I hate to say that, but it's so true. Goodness gracious. We argue and fight with our own people about that. I don't fight and argue with Esau. When I talk to Esau, listen, I ain't never heard Esau tell me that I just spoke to 101 and we rapping and we talking and I'm revealing this information to him. He's like, no, man, that can't be. No, they like, yeah, well, we did. We stole everything.
Somebody gonna come out. Somebody gonna come out in the future and be like, yeah, I spoke to Tasha Yum on the side. You ain't never speak to me on the side.
Yeah, right? That reminds me of stuff with Captain Zaria.
That was Captain Zaria, yeah. When I tried to talk to you on the side, like, get up out of here, bro.
So in verse 14 is the only thing that Christians focus on.
Right.
27 and 14. Come on.
And he went and fetched. Oh, Salakia. 27 and 14.
27.
No, 13. Salakia, sir. I didn't say 13 yet.
Oh,
the book of Genesis chapter 27 verse 13. And his mother said unto him, upon me be thy curse, my son. Only obey my voice and go fetch me them.
So right then and there, it completely eliminated Jacob. He was completely out of the decision making. He was being a child at this point.
Right.
He was being a son, and he was being obedient to his mother.
That's right.
So your argument that said that Jacob was wrong and he was conniving and all this, right then and there, you shouldn't even look at Jacob at this point.
Right.
Because this is all on his mother.
Right.
The one that understood that the Most High had a choice, that he had chose before those kids did any good or any evil, that he had made a decision and she was just following orders. Go ahead.
Kind, sir, if I may add to that, so like if I may, and that shows you how much this is how we should be in this truth.
Right.
We should put the Most High over everybody.
Period. Damn right.
She put the Most High over her husband. She put the Most High, what the Most High said, that's what goes. You know what I'm saying? And she put the Most High came before her own husband, because guess what? It may have been that if Isaac would have found out, he would have cursed his wife. But who has the power and authority to create evil and good? You see what I'm saying? But the Most High. Your camera went out, sir. Oh, there you go. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's this is how we should be. Now understand, Salakia, sir, and let me just drop this real quick. Understand the order. You know what I mean? The head of the woman is the man. The head of the man is Christ, and the head of Christ is God. I ain't sitting here trying to tell any woman out here to go and do something outside of that order. But if your husband is not in order, understand God comes first, man. But you're supposed to choose a husband that is of the nation of Israel, that knows right from wrong, that knows to do the right thing. You know what I'm saying? And Isaac definitely did. But in this particular case, Rebecca had to do according to what the Most High had already ordained, had already put in place. Right.
Right. And she did it.
She definitely did it. So she's not even wicked. She's not even deceiving. Nobody is. The only person that is wicked and deceiving in this story is Esau.
That's the only one, because he's right there and there. Right then and there. I'm gonna say it again. The beginning of this chapter, between verses 1 and 2, he should have made it clear. Salakia.
Khan.
Is that 1 and 2?
After 3, or after 4? After 4.
Right. After 4, that's when he should have jumped in and said, "Hold it, Dad."
Whoa.
No. I sold my birthright. You know,
yeah.
The birthright is not even mine anymore. I sold it because I was hungry.
He should have said because I despised it.
Ooh,
because I despised it. I despised
right.
it. That'd have been all the way honest, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
And
then it would have been respectful. And Jacob would have been like, "All right, cool. Go ahead and make it anyway."
Exactly.
See your brother in there.
Because if he would have said because I was hungry, Isaac would be like, "Oh man, it ain't that serious. I'm still going to bless you." But if he would have said, because I despised it, I didn't really care about it. I just wanted me some good meat that one day.
Or Salakia, if he would have said he swore by it, he swore. Forget that part. You made me remember.
Yes, kind of a
right. So
kind of yeah. Dad going, man. Dad going. Esau, you just you're the devil.
It's typical of it. It's typical. It's so Esau-ish.
Come on, God.
I'm gonna make a covenant, but I ain't gonna keep it.
I ain't gonna keep it.
His fingers crossed behind his back.
Oh man, yo. Oh man. Ooh. Verse 16. Oh, Salakia, verse 15. Right. And Rebecca took goodly raiment. Oh, wait. No.
14.
Verse 14. And he went and fetched and brought them to his mother. And his mother made savory meat, such as his father loved.
Just like he liked it.
Just like he liked it, right? And Rebecca took goodly raiment of her eldest son Esau, which were with her in the house, and put them upon Jacob, her younger son.
Now Jacob didn't go and get it.
Nope.
He didn't say, well, let me go put this on. Remember, Rebecca took control of this. This is all on her. She made it clear in verse 13. Read verse 13 again.
And his mother said unto him, upon me be thy curse, my son. Only obey my voice and go fetch me them.
So remember, she said this. So she actually put everything on her, right? So when she got the clues, she got Esau's clues and put in doing all of this. She's doing all of this because she knew that Esau supposed to have said to her father. Matter of fact, it doesn't even say that she knew that he sold the birthright.
Right, it doesn't. It doesn't.
She's
just moving.
Exactly. It doesn't say. I don't want to add or take away from the prophecy of this book. So I'm not going to add anything. It's just simple and plain, man. She was just doing the righteousness of the Most High God.
That's right.
That's it. The Most High power. That is it. All right. Go ahead. Verse 16.
And Rebecca took. Oh, Salakia, verse 15.
Verse 16.
Oh, okay. And she put the skins of the kids of the goats upon his hands and upon the smooth of his neck. God.
Yeah, so she wanted him to feel rough like a goat. Now, y'all know goat hair is similar to Esau's hair. It's similar to it. It's similar. It's actually similar to it. If you pull it up, you'll see that it's actually similar. You pulling it up?
Yeah, go
ahead, pull that up. It's very important to understand. So now she's putting it all together. She's getting them right because remember, Isaac is blind. He can't see. So what is he going to do? He's going to use his senses. He's going to use the touch and smell sense to actually give identity on who this child is. All right. Verse 17. Come on.
Let me get that real quick.
Oh, yeah. You about to pull that up. I mean, I actually looked it up. I actually pulled it up too. But I just don't. I don't. My sharing department ain't too tight.
Oh shoot! Hold on a second. I actually had it up there. Application.
You got him?
Yeah. I'm getting him up here.
I mean, this is just like a woman, ain't it? Though it's just like a woman, man. It's just like a sister. Like bang bang. Yeah. Listen, go get this. Go get that. Go get this. Got it all mapped out. I just love to talk about that because they do. I'm actually going to do a class on the sisters in the scriptures and how sisters played a major role in the Most High's salvation plan. Because if you think about it, this right here is vital. This right here is very, very important to our blessing. This is very important to everything what she did. Everything. It's a kid goat.
Look at that's a kid goat. Look at his hair.
Yep. And look they gotta have a certain scent.
Right.
A certain scent came with that. We're gonna talk about it. All right, go ahead. You can take it down.
All
right, let's keep going.
All right, Verse 17.
Go ahead.
And she gave the savory meat and the bread which she had prepared into the hand of her son Jacob.
Come on.
And he came unto his father and said, my father. And he said, here am I. Who art thou, my son? And Jacob said unto his father, I am Esau, thy firstborn.
So now this is Jacob, Salakia. This is Jacob doing what his mother said do. Remember, she said, only obey my voice. All right. Keep that in mind. Go ahead.
I have done according as thou hadst me. Arise, I pray thee, sit and eat of my venison, that thy soul may bless me.
That he may bless him. And guess what? At that point, Jacob knew that Esau had sold his birthright. He knew that. He knew that, but not once did he say anything about that. He just followed and was being obedient to his mother,
right?
To his parents, right?
And Isaac said unto his son, how is it that thou hast found it so quickly, my son? And he said, because the Lord thy God brought it to me.
That, and he talking about that blessing, the whole thing. Put that down. Go ahead.
And Isaac said unto Jacob, come near, I pray thee, that I may feel thee, my son, whether thou be my very son Esau or not. And Jacob went near unto Isaac his father, and he felt him, and said, the voice is Jacob's voice, but the hands are the hands of Esau.
So he actually used those senses to identify him, but he said your voice sound like Jacob, but you feel like Esau. Go ahead.
Right. And he discerned him not, because his hands were hairy, as his brother Esau's hands. So he blessed him.
So he did exactly what his mother said, and he blessed him. He got the blessing. He got the blessing that was promised to him before they came out of that womb, before they did any good or evil, before they made any works and any choices. This was the act, and this was all of the Lord. All right, go ahead.
And he said, art thou my very son Esau? And he said, I am. And he said, bring it near to me, and I will eat of my son's venison, that my soul may bless thee. And he brought it near to him, and he did eat.
Come on.
And he brought him wine, and he drank. And his father Isaac said unto him, come near now, and kiss me, my son. And he came near and kissed him, and he smelled the smell of his raiment.
So he smelled him. He smelled like Esau. Y'all know what? Y'all know what that smell like.
Outside.
Remember, we got a lot. Yeah, we got goat skin and goat hair all tied into all of this too. So you got to take all that in mind. That scent. He had to smell like Esau. He had to smell like he was outside. He had to smell, like you said, he had to smell like he's a cunning hunter.
Right.
All right, read.
And blessed him and said, see, the smell of my son is as the smell of a field which the Lord hath blessed.
Go ahead.
Therefore God give thee of the dew of heaven and the fatness of the earth and plenty of corn and wine. Let people serve thee and nations bow down to thee. Be Lord
that
over.
Salakia, real quick. That was the blessing. It's very important to understand that the blessing is verse 29. Read it again.
Let people serve thee and nations bow down to thee.
Come on.
Be Lord over thy brethren, and let thy mother's sons bow down to thee. Cursed be every one that curseth thee, and blessed be he that blesseth thee.
This is exactly what the Most High had told Abraham.
I
will bless those that bless thee, and I will curse those that curse thee. All right? All right, read.
And it came to pass, as soon as Isaac had made an end of blessing Jacob, and Jacob was yet scarce gone out from the presence of Isaac his father, that Esau his brother came in from his hunting. Dang. So as soon as he walked out, here come Esau.
So like simultaneously, like he go out and coming in.
Right. Go
ahead.
And he also had made savory meat and brought it unto his father, and said unto his father, let my father rise and eat of his son's venison, that thy soul may bless me. And Isaac his father said unto him, who art thou? And he said, I am thy son, thy firstborn Esau.
So he like, man, wait a minute. Hold on. Who the hell are you? Esau?
Esau.
Hey,
and Isaac trembled very exceedingly and said, who? Where is he that hath taken venison and brought it me? And I have eaten of all before thou camest, and have blessed him, yea, and he shall be blessed.
Yo, and that's what's heavy. He said, I
That's
blessed
heavy.
him, and he shall be
And
blessed.
he gonna be blessed.
Yeah,
because I don't despise, I'm a man of my word.
Right. Yeah, I'm not like you, Esau.
I ain't like you, Esau.
Yeah, I don't make promises and then
Yeah. It's signed, sealed, delivered. It's
right.
his.
I don't give away things. I'm Indian giver.
I
I didn't mean it. Just like Esau.
Just
All right,
like
go ahead, verse 34.
And when this is the funny part. And when Esau heard the words of his father, he cried with a great and exceeding bitter cry, and said unto his father, bless me, even me also, oh my father.
So he's like, yo, please just bless me. Like, come on.
Oh God.
Something. Now remember, he was the one that despised his birthright.
Despised it.
But you know
He said,
what?
what you gonna do for me?
Look, just because it was given to his brother, it was given
Right.
not to him. Now he wants it.
Right.
It's just like Esau. He always wants something that's not his.
Kind of Wakan.
It's just crazy. I mean, he's tore up about it.
Tore up. Bitter cry.
Clearly said he despised his birthright. So, but now he's distraught. Oh, I can't believe this. I can't believe this has happened. Oh my God. Oh my God.
No, he had an ugly. I'm gonna say his cry was even uglier than that, man. Oh God, he was one of those. Like the water was coming, snot was probably running out his nose.
Yeah, because your brother gonna rule over you.
Excuse me.
That's crazy, right there.
Oh man.
Like, why don't the Christians talk about that though? Why they don't say, well, he did despise his birthright, and then he cried and he was so upset because he didn't get the blessing. Like, right? Like that's so Esau-ish.
Right.
That's just such like him.
And you know what's crazy though? Here's the crazy part, right? He still got a blessing.
Yeah, he got a blessing, but he didn't get that blessing.
But he still got a blessing.
Yeah, he definitely got his blessing.
But what he do with his blessing is put his foot on your neck.
Yep, all the way on it. We're gonna touch on it real quick too.
Kind of Wakan. And he said, let's see, here it is. This is the one. And he said, Salakia, exceedingly bitter cry, and said unto his father, bless me, even me also, O my father. And he said, thy brother came with subtlety and have taken away thy blessing. This is what Isaac said.
Now, right, this is what Isaac said, because Isaac don't know that Esau sold his birthright.
Right.
He don't know it. That's why he says as a false witness. He came and and he got the birthright.
Right.
When Esau could have right then and there, right here, he could have straightened it out again.
Again.
He could have said, nah,
Nah, he deserved it. I was wrong.
I sold it. Why don't Christians never say that? They never say stuff like that. They always just say, Jacob was just wrong, and he was a conniver, and he was a deceiver. But right there, this is the second time. The first time when he told him to go get the blessing, go get the food, the meat, and cook it and prepare it for him.
Right.
He could have told Isaac right there, and now right here he could have told him again. Isaac said, "Thy brother would what is it?
Dealt subtly, and had taken away thy blessing."
And had taken away thy blessing. He could have told him right there.
Yeah, but you know why the Christians always make us out to be because they want us to be the bad guy. All right, they like to point their fingers at us and say that's the bad guy. That's exactly why, man. That's exactly what it is.
Right, you're 100% right. Spirit of Esau. Esau could have made it be known that he sold his birthright, and that's not the bad guy.
Exactly.
But he allowed Isaac to feel and say, and he know his father was almost ready to die. Why would you want your father to leave this earth thinking that? You should, but see, that's the act of a righteous man. We dealing with an unrighteous man, someone that is wicked. That's what we dealing with. All right, verse 36.
Verse 36, and he said, is not he rightly named Jacob? for he has supplanted me these 2 times. He took away my birthright, and behold, now he hath taken away my blessing. And he said, hast thou not reserved a blessing for me? Wow.
This boy is something else, man.
Wow.
Esau is something else, man.
So Salakia, sir, if I may, and we running out of time. We gotta get right to it. But does he not know it's the same thing?
I was thinking that just as well, but once again, he despised it, so he really didn't understand it.
He didn't understand it. Isaac right there should have been like, oh, all right, well, this is what I got going on. You know, it is what it is. Because he ain't fighting. He ain't even turn around and curse Jacob.
Right. Talking about he took away my birthright. He took
right.
That right there is a lie.
Right.
He didn't take away his birthright. Esau sold it. He sold it to him. Go ahead.
It's kind of what God. And Esau said unto his father, hast thou but one? Oh, Salakia. Behold, I have made him thy. Verse 37. And Isaac answered and said unto Esau, behold, I have made him thy Lord.
Woo.
And all
that burned right there. That's why he was crying and carrying on.
There he was.
This boy is over me. That's your Lord. That's your
That's
out of wine.
Lord. That's your out of wine. Khan. And all his brethren have I given to him for servants. Dang.
Man. All his brethren.
Khan. And with corn and
Salakia, if I may, real quick.
Khan.
What brethren is he talking about?
All of them.
Right. But at this point right here, it's only Jacob and Esau.
Khan. But
go ahead.
Oh, the other nations that came before Jacob and Esau.
It says, and all his brethren. Remember the blessing that he gave to Abraham.
Abraham, Khan.
Said his seed would be many. It would be as the stars of the heaven. So he understands that. Remember when I was saying earlier, I was saying that Isaac understood the blessing because Abraham had to tell him about it, and he had to tell Jacob and Esau. He had to tell his sons. Now I'm not adding or taking away from it, but I'm just saying to what I know when you go back to Adam, he had to tell him. And the brethren that he's speaking about is those seeds. One seed, but as many. Remember, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob. When he told Abraham, he said that matter of fact, I'm gonna go to it. Hold on. Sure, we got this. That's
like it, sir. It's 8:53 too. So like it, sir. Just give me a time check.
All right.
Man, this is heavy. This is a heavy class, man. Heavy.
I want to make sure we get all of
Khan, sir.
That would actually be in. Okay, go to Genesis chapter 15 and verse 4. Verse 4 and verse 5 to show that this is the blessing. When he said he will rule over his brethren. Go ahead.
It's the book of Genesis chapter 15 and verse 4. And behold, the word of the Lord came unto him, saying, this shall not be thine heir, but he that shall come forth out of thine own bowels shall be thine heir. And he brought him forth abroad and said, look now toward heaven and tell the stars if thou be able to number them. And he said unto him, so shall thy seed be.
Go ahead.
And he believed in the Lord, and he counted it to him for righteousness.
All right, come. All right, that's it. But I'm gonna check with Officer Tazayawan to make sure that we correct on that.
Okay, kind.
On that part on verse 37. So what we'll do is on part 2 of this, we'll take over from verse 38, and we'll talk about what took place at the end of his blessings, because like you said, it's 8:55. It's 8:55. So now, after reading this, we do understand this is that Jacob didn't steal Esau's birthright. Esau sold his birthright. He sold
Right.
his birthright to his brother, and he lied and lied, and he was the conniving one.
That's right.
It wasn't Jacob. It was
Okay.
Esau. It wasn't Rachel. Rachel was doing thus said the Most High Power before the kids did any good or evil, before any works. She understood the position of Jacob, and she understood the position of Esau. You got anything you want to add to that?
No, that's the vibe, sir. You hit it on. You hit it right on there.
All right. So next week we're gonna do part 2 to this, and we're gonna start here. We're gonna start getting into some more meaty things concerning Esau. We're gonna talk about different things to show who he is today without
That's right.
Yeah, without a argument at all. We're going
Right.
to show that this is without a doubt who we say in the School of Universal Practical Knowledge, who Esau is. We're going to prove that that's exactly who it is. But we definitely had to get that out of the way first from the beginning to let you know that Jacob is still Esau's blessing. Go ahead.
That's right. He was a liar from the beginning.
Yep. And there's no truth in him.
No
right?
truth in him.
None
That's
at
right.
all. All right. It's saying that we're the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge out of Harlem, New York, since 1969 under Commanding General Yohana. You got the security announcements?
Colonel McCon, sir. ISUPK security announcements. Rule new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to learn and shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, they are to seek counsel from the heads. Ties, which is a commandment. Numbers 18:21, Malachi 3:8-10. Ma'asha means 10th in Hebrew. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Priest fund, which is a free will offering for priests, but not mandatory, whatever amount you would like to give. Upcoming Holy Convocation, we have the Feast of Purim, which is on February, I believe the evening of February 14th to the 15th. Tuesday, February 14th to the 15th. All Akim, Aquathium is definitely be in attendance. Is going to be a good time to learn about the book of what's that? Salakia, not
Esther.
Judith, Esther, Salakia. And it's an excellent story about another woman, another sister in the truth in the house of Israel. You know what I mean? That did something that was so amazing that we had to, make a remembrance to it every year. You know what I mean? So instead of worry about keeping Valentine's Day, which is usually around that time, you're supposed to be keeping the Feast of Purim. You know what I mean? Just like you ain't supposed to be keeping Christmas or this New Year's and all this other type mess. We got our own high holy days that we supposed to keep that the Most High is with.
And it's about you.
It's about us, kind of one kind.
Sister, man, it's about you.
I'm about. That's right. They like to. You know how people outside the UPK like to say we don't care about our sister and we don't say nothing about our man. Listen, we just talked about the woman of God right now. Today, talking about Rebecca and what she did, and then we about to and come on February 14th and 15th, we're gonna be talking about I keep slacking Esther. You know what I'm saying? And what she did, man. I'm trying to tell you, man. Listen, we got some strong women. You know what I mean? And we definitely recognize our women that definitely do, good things within this truth. You know what I'm saying? It's not selfish. Let me see what else we have. So that's the upcoming Holy Convocation. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black boots, shirt, pants, headband, and scarf. And with that, we give one courtesy salute. The brethren,
Yahweh
Shem Yahushua Barakathum. All right, and we give also one courtesy salute to the sisters. Yahweh Shamar Allah Thaba Shem Yahushua. All right, and with that, Shalom Israel.
Shalom Israel.